Hi everybody, Mature Simmer back here on the farm here in Hills of Tuscany. Just trying to see what we can do. So for those who may be new, or just for review for those who are not, typical start of every episode is to just see where we're at. So the reason it's called the VIP series is it's centered around this VIP order manager. This is the main interface in the game. You can see we're looking at level 8, where we're looking for a payout of about 210,000 euros when we have everything done. We finished the metal. We do have a weird thing going on that the metal just runs forever, so I think we'll figure out, what we can do. I know I can clear the pile with some back-end development controls and stuff, but not found a way to turn the mine off, so it just keeps perpetually dumping ore, which is kind of goofy. But you can see, we've got milk, lettuce, we've got tables to be made, butter, and we've got rye to get harvested. And, if I look at the map, these are kind of all my fields here. You can see everything's green, it's growing. So rye is not going to be anything I can do at this point. And if we head over here to the furniture factory, we can see we have 512 liters of tables. We've got planks running and so forth. So I think we're in decent shape for our 18,000 tables. And we've got the butter running in the dairy. Just checking over here, you can see, we've got, a pile, and it won't load in, but even if it did, the building storage is almost full. And I've got 5,000 liters here that I eventually need to drop somewhere too, so we've got a good amount of lettuce getting produced here. We need a ton of it. So 66,000 liters of lettuce is not insubstantial. But where we're really at is we're kind of at this position where we just have a lot of waiting to do. Here, a few months later, just progressing time along so that I can get some things done. So at this point, whoops. Looks like we're a little bit stuck there. Let's see if I can get this out. There we go. It was a bit of a challenge. There's enough butter that I can at least move things along. Again, I need so much butter. I need 47,000 liters. So it's going to take a long time. I've got 12,000 liters so far. So you can see, it's been 2-3 months. So basically it's going to take a year for me to get all the butter I need. Trying to be nice and staying clear of running through fields and so forth. The rye's got, I think it will be ready tomorrow. So I'm going to be able to jump on the rye harvest and see if we can at least fulfill those VIP demands at this point. Took me a little while with this dairy and whatever. I couldn't see anything being produced, and it turns out it's in the back of that production building there. There were some doors that I had to open, and things were getting stacked. Alright, and it looks like I cannot fit here, so I'm just going to have to improvise and get things out here to the truck. It just kind of is what it is. But you can see back here, so the inside those areas is where the butter shows up, so they just stack too high, and so I kind of pulled them out here. Alright, well, we kept traffic a little backed up here as we loaded, but I was able to get 13,000 actually, because another pallet appeared. So the butter is going to Boema Processing, which is the potato plant. So let me do a interesting circle here. I should hopefully be okay. Oh goodness. Love traffic sometimes. Not being very nice to the people of Italy here, but you know, we're doing what we need to do. So the challenge ends up being with the series is, you know, the goal of the series is obviously to progress through the VIP orders, not necessarily to do every mundane task as manually as possible and so forth. So that I definitely have employed automation on the back end just to make things reasonable for me. As those who follow the series as they come out on the channel in real time will have noticed, it's become increasingly difficult for me. Well, it's become impossible for me to keep up with even a weekly publishing schedule for these. So I'm trying to do things as I can. And we're kind of at the point now where this is just getting very difficult. I think Bohema Processing is this one here. That's the potato facility. Just want to be sure. Yes, Bohema Processing is there. So we're going to go ahead here, and we'll see if I can, there we go, get that to work, and we can. So you can see the VIP orders. We're now fulfilling some butter. The challenge, as you can see, though, is my funds are not going up because... Oh, terrific. Alright, well, again, we're probably going to have to improvise, because at this point we're not running anything, nor do I really need to run anything. So yeah, I'm going to have to figure this one out. Alright, so the first thing I checked, because we do need French fries for the next thing, but French fries just require potatoes and vegetable fat, so that doesn't matter at this point. Alright, so what I did is I found a product that uses butter. The only product that uses butter there is the mashed potatoes. So basically just set the plant up to process mashed potatoes and sell them immediately, because I again don't need things to get stored up and so forth. I just need to consume 47,000 liters of butter, which is going to be a lot of mashed potatoes, I'm sure. So again, we're going to just keep that moving along so that I can keep the order processing going, and you know, we'll go from there. But at this point, I think I've done what I can for the day. I do need to get, you know, I am getting close on the tables. I think I have about 12,000 or 10,000 liters of tables ready. So that's looking pretty good, but I think we're probably going to be dealing with the rye. You know, we're obviously going to keep moving the milk between selling and getting things there for the butter. You know, again, you can see it took another 2 liters. The truck is sitting over there, so I may have to show up for it to grab more, but we'll see. You know, maybe by the time I fast forward to tomorrow, I can empty the truck and we can empty the, you know, we can maybe have enough tables. I don't know. Alright, so I just moved another 1,000 liters of planks over. We've got 8,000 liters of tables out here, and as you can see, we've almost got 8,000 inside. Again, we need 18,000. So I think that'll get me pretty close. Run over here, see where the butter stands. Put a little more in there, but still not enough. No spare capacity for butter, but our rye is ready. So that is what I'm going to turn my attention to. No real magic place to begin. So I'm just going to go ahead and start on field 11 here. Alright, so there we go with the rye. We need 182,000 liters, and I am just going to go ahead and try to start taking that over. So while this is harvesting, I'm going to go get my trailer that I move my crops in. I always check, I keep forgetting if that forage wagon would somehow let me do other things. We have lots of wool if we need it, as you can see. So at some point, maybe that demand will come up and we'll be ahead of it. But I've got to go ahead and head on down south on the map is the large area where I've put the iron production and so forth, so that's where that is sitting. So my hope is sometime today maybe the trailer gets emptied of butter, and then I can go ahead and move tables. If not, I can, I know I can, I think, get the stuff to come off the trailer. I do need to pay attention and see if we're running out of milk over at the dairy, because I certainly don't want butter production to stop. That was one thing I didn't check. So this field to the left is mine, and that has rye. That's the only one that I didn't get done in one day. And you can see the pile from here of iron ore. So the pile's gotten really big, I'm sure. No, never mind, that's not the pile. I think that's the side building, but I think the pile is probably really big. Yeah, it's up there, and it's still pouring in. I just don't understand why they didn't let you toggle that on and off. It just seems like a ridiculous oversight. Alright, so I've got the trailer. $18,500 liters, so we're going to need basically 10 trips to the 0 kilometer shop, which is going to be fine, because, again, we're in active harvesting at this point. But for those, again, who may be newer, this is kind of how it works at this point, but the reason I do like the VIP orders, or the VIP Order Manager mod, is it kind of gives you a purpose of doing things. It's less, hey, I'm just going to grow rye because I decided, hey, I'm just going to grow rye, and I'm growing rye because someone wants rye. So I always refer to it kind of as a quest system for Farming Simulator. So I have enjoyed that, and then kind of made the decision commitment that more than likely, whenever I'm doing single player, I'm going to be involving the VIP Order Manager. So I usually make some tweaks, as I did here, so there are certain things it just isn't going to suggest, because I'm pushing more for productions and doing things like the tables and the couple additional mods. So the potato processing plant that we're dropping the butter off is part of the potato processing mod, and then I always get the platinum or the premium expansion mixed up, but whichever one didn't just come out recently, that was kind of included earlier on, that adds a ton of production type of things. That's what we're looking at. Oh, looks like he's already ready for me to be here, so that was part of why I wanted to go get that trailer, because I knew this was coming up soon. But he barely got... Did he barely get halfway around the field? Yeah, he didn't even get halfway around the field if we really look at it. That is insane. But it only holds 10,000 there, which, when I only have trailers of 18,500, that works, because it's still not even 2 harvesters full, and then I've got to do things. And yes, the sheep are already out of capacity, so when they run out of water, I'm probably just gonna let them stop, maybe, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go ahead on the other side here of the field, because it should, in theory, I think, get at least that far. Maybe I'll stop at the end or something. But we'll then keep going on the rye. I'll go from here, we'll do field 9, and then I'll go do those fields in the back, and then eventually move over to field 77. The real big question will be, am I going to get that all done in the day? So we'll see how it goes, but obviously the goal was to get going early, and things are moving along. Nothing much will happen. I guess I'll bring you along for my first delivery so that you see where we're taking it, but it's basically just in town there, so not very far away. So that'll be the nice thing with some of these fields, is I should be able to get there pretty quickly and maybe keep the harvester moving, whereas we get further and further away, that is less and less likely. So I'll see you in a bit. I am full, and I am now moving along to go ahead and get this delivered again to the 0 kilometer shop, which is the one that kind of goes around. We go around the back side and deliver there. So head past all of our productions here and then turn into town. So it is nice that there's a good amount of things being sold, but it's the one that we can get to this way and with the lower entrance, because with the truck I have to go out that little gap, because similar to the problem I had with the dairy, I can't fit underneath there. But this will give me this, and then we should start seeing things count down. And again, it will be part of, be a little less than 10%, 10 of these. But we'll worry about the last one, because there is no point in delivering extra of crops like this, because then when I do need them potentially in the future, they'll be available. But there we go. So at least we're making a little bit of money here. So a little under 7,000 euros for each load. So, you know, we're going to get 70,000. Plus we'll get whatever it is, the 30,000, 20,000 euro bonus once we get this level taken care of with the VIPs. So now you have an idea of where things are going to go. Again, I'm going to harvest these fields, all the ones along the top northern edge of our location, and that is what I'm going to be focusing on for now. So I'm going to do that, and I will see you in a bit. Been running around doing all the deliveries I can as quick as I can, try to get things done here. So this is the last load. We do have enough rye. We are on the last field. Now we're going to obviously have field 22 come due tomorrow. So I'm still obviously going to go ahead and do that just to collect it for when we need rye again. You know, that's what we have a silo for, so the crops doesn't make sense to, you know, plow under or anything like that. We might as well go ahead and utilize things. You can see we're over 400,000 euros now. So that is certainly a nice thing. You know, I've expressed a couple times, well, more than a couple times, for quite some time over many episodes, just my concern of, are we going to stabilize at some point enough that I'm not at risk of running out of funding? But, you know, right now I think we've got most of what we need. I don't know, I mean, I can't say with certainty that we have what we need for level 9 as far as production buildings. There may be a new production building that needs to come along, but usually most of those are 100,000 or so. So we have things for that. You know, and the important thing, obviously, we made a little bit here. We're going to be able to go ahead and deliver the tables, which I think should bring us straight income, and I would imagine something at that level where I've had to take wood and create planks, and then take the planks, so it's kind of that compound or more complex production process where there's multi-layers, similar to if I'm selling clothes, where I have to take wool, turn it into fabric, and then take fabric and turn it in. So lights just turned on. But this should then complete that second VIP order here at level 8. So, you know, we've got a ways to go with butter. I haven't touched any milk. Again, I've literally been doing rye all day, but we now have that second one done. 416,000 euros. Obviously that'll decrease. We just did pay for some repair work on one of the harvester, I think, as it runs. And I'm probably just, you know what, I'm gonna turn around here and head to the field, because what I'm gonna do is I'm then just gonna take that harvester later off camera down here to field 22, so that tomorrow when it's time I can just jump in and have it start harvesting and go from there. But then I'm gonna need to unload, so I don't need to unload that harvester before I leave. So we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. But you can see we have 9,000 more liters here. So, you know, we might end up with 30,000. Maybe even between 30 and 40. Not sure. But I think it would be reasonable to assume that we're going to be able to get 15,000 liters off of that other field. Oh, it looks like we just beat the rain too, so that's always a good thing, that we didn't have to take even more time. But in real time here, and this becomes the issue, so I do, I don't know, apologize is probably the wrong word. It's not that I'm intentionally delaying things any more than simply, hey, I'm getting interested, and, you know, I'm doing a lot of flight sim and so forth. There's going to be a little bit more of that coming out, so for those that are interested, I think I've got an interesting take on how I'm going to present some information there to help people who are interested in maybe delving into that world to open that door where they may have been a little bit intimidated, certainly as I was. And I'm going to take the journey that I took to get to where I am, which is certainly far from expert level, but I think I've definitely done a boatload of learning in 4 months, and I'm going to try to condense that down for folks into chunks that they can consume and maybe join that world as well if it's something that they've been looking at. But anyway, I digress. The point being, you know, the length of time between episodes has grown substantially. I know that. And I'm acknowledging that as, you know, possibly something that is disappointing to folks. You know, you probably got used to, especially if you're a long-time viewer of the channel. Definitely, as always, I don't thank people enough. So I do want to thank anybody who's a viewer or a subscriber, but especially those long-time folks who have been around, watch a lot of the content across different sims and so forth. You know, your loyalty is noticed. It's appreciated more than you'll ever know, because it just helps validate that at least something I'm doing here is entertaining enough to folks to have them make a choice to spend part of their time here with whatever I'm putting out. So thanks again for that. But it has been something that has weighed on my mind of, do I do something so that I can get closer to that, hey, have a farm sim video every week? But I don't know that that is the best choice. I think it's still good to put out the content that is interesting to me. This is certainly something I'd like to keep doing here on Hills of Tuscany. I don't feel we're anywhere near being done, but it just takes a lot of time. I have literally spent an entire day just getting to this point. It's been about 8 to 9 hours to get you whatever this turns into once it goes through the editing process. But in the meantime, let's go find our truck. Alright, so we've parked it here, knowing that I was going next to the table, and I need 18,000, so I am going to cap that in case somehow I have more than that. So we're looking at 18,000, and it's going to the Santo Spirito Market, which is right over here. Again, it's one of those buildings, I always get them mixed up. So it's the southernmost one, right next to the tailor shop. So we're literally going almost nowhere. Alright, so it's grabbing the tables. That's a good sign. Tables are coming out, as you can see. And this is why we then want the limit. Although I think it was just all the pallets, but we're literally taking it right here. And we're delivering it, and we will have 3 of 6 VIP orders done. Oh, table not accepted here, so I think we need to go back here. And there we go. So yes, we have 6. I wasn't sure if I had 6 orders or not. But yeah, the truck kind of opens up and then it starts to put things out there. But that should get me there. But now we've got kind of the more challenging things. I mean, not that the rye was not challenging. 182,000 liters of anything is nothing to be sneezed at. You know, maybe... yeah, even 182,000 liters of potatoes would be a lot. I was going to say maybe potatoes because they're high yield, but again, we're not going to have VIPs asking for raw potatoes. They're just going to want processed stuff. So, and I'm not sure that whatever potato work I need to do in the future that I'm really going to share a whole lot of that. We've got a potato episode, and this is not a potato farming type of thing. So I don't know that I necessarily want to pull in, because let's see, if I think about it, what do I need the truck for? Yeah, butter, lettuce, I do. I mean, I'm going to need it to move some milk. Let's see where the cows are at. Yeah, I'm going to need to get them some more food, but yeah, we've only got 37,000 liters of milk. I probably want to get that over, because again, more milk gets turned into less butter, and what I mean by that is it's 15 milks turn into 13 liters of butter, so that 37,000 is not going to turn into 37,000. Now, I suppose the question is, maybe I only take like 30,000 of that. I'm going to leave this somewhere here where it's not that hard to pick up. So I am not going to go park it again, because I'm going to just need to start moving things in a little while. But if I do say 30, because right now I have what left? I basically need 37,000 liters of butter, and I've already got some being made. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to move like 25,000 liters. I was going to say 30, but even that seems like it may be too much. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to take 25,000. And we're going to move it. And for those of you who, once again, maybe like newer, hadn't really watched the series, kind of gotten the gist of the situation, who might be like, you know, you could get like a bigger trailer and you could have moved like 50,000 liters of rye in one trip and it would save you some time. And I think you've seen the small little space we have to work in here in Tuscany. Everything is pretty tight. So large equipment, European farms don't go together. They just don't. So, you know, sure, I could manhandle things. I could, you know, do things off camera to throw things around. I'm already doing enough of that as it is to just keep my sanity. But to try to at least have some semblance of doing the work, I try to use equipment that I can do the work with, because otherwise it would just make it impossible. But, you know, even these kind of things are coming out here, you know, exiting the farm in this small entrance. You know, I'm not going to get a giant harvester head out here. I'm not going to get a huge wide planter out of here. Well, the dairy's up here and that way. You know, and even getting this into the location that I need, I don't remember if it fit or if I had to do something creative. I think it did, because I don't know that there's much I could do with the milk. It is dark, but Anyway, yes, I'm sticking with it right now rather than going to the next day, because at this point I don't have enough to get another order done. I'm actually pleased that I got the 2 I did done. I was really thinking I was just maybe going to get the rye and then I'd have to wait for everything else, but we did not need to do that. So that is appreciated. And then it's just a matter of I think I had to screw around with this a little bit. I probably will again. So this is why. You're seeing exactly why. Why don't I have an 80,000 liter tanker? Because I can't even fit 32,000 liter tankers on the road and get them where they need to go. What am I stuck on here? I can't quite tell. We're through. And yes, we have a few thousand. Yeah, this may actually be too much milk now that I think about it. I may only do some of this, because I can always dump more. So I'm going to stop about there. And I'm going to leave this here, because I don't need it for anything else. And if I need more milk, I need more milk. But at this point, I have what? 5,000, 6, 7... I have 8,000 liters of butter there already out of the 37 I need. So now I'm down to 29. And I've already, I've got a little bit of milk in there. So I may need it all, but I'm not going to need a ton of it. I'm also not sure the most efficient way. Like, I'm coming in the other end of the farm here now, instead of going up and over. But anyway, that is why I was sticking around, because I think this is as far as I can go for a little while again. Now I think we're in that waiting period. The lettuce is going to take forever. I haven't even begun to move the lettuce, and all I'm going to get is like 15,000 liters when I have the full stack by the greenhouses there when we finally get there. And the butter's going to take some time to get over, because again, there's nothing that I know of. So if someone has any idea of how I can purge butter from a production, let me know. But I don't think I can. I think I have to process things through, which just means I need to kind of fake things through there. Plus I need the 119,000 liters of milk. And because of that 119,000 liters, I think that's going to take long enough on its own. But, we can get going, as always, on some of the level 9 things. So I'm certainly going to focus on the next set of crops. We'll do barley. Then we'll do the triticale. And again, with the quantities we're talking about, I think it's going to need the whole field. So I think next time we're going to be planting some barley. We're going to be getting that going. We'll see if we get one set of fields to give us 248,000. It might have a higher yield. I don't think it does. Not that much different. I mean, because we're in essence going to get about 200,000 of rye off of all the fields I possess right now. And the challenge we have with the VIP order manager is if I add more fields to my farm, those start getting calculated into what the VIPs ask for, because the VIPs are like, all right, you got more acreage. I did want to ask for more stuff, but it was taking really long to get what I had. But hey, now you have more acreage, you have more capacity. I'm going to up my order. I need more stuff. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 that way, that I can't suddenly be like, well, let me just buy one more big field and then I can do the 248,000. It'll solve the short-term problem. Yes, like I could do that. I could buy another big field like 77 and get another 50,000 liters. No doubt about it. But the problem is then level 10, level 11, I'm going to see an order for 350,000 liters of barley next time or something, because they'll be like, well, you got more acreage, so let's go. But I would think the triticale will be close. So I'm thinking full farm of triticale, and then a farm and a little bit to get the barley. But then we're talking about the doghouse. got to figure out that organic compost. I know I was producing some of that. I just am not sure. And then obviously we've got the French fries that we can start hammering out once we're done with getting the butter and processing the butter through. I mean, I suppose I could also start doing French fries. Let's take a look at that. So I need potatoes and vegetable fat. So yes, so at some point that's the issue, is I'm going to need to grow some soybeans to get the vegetable fat. And so it's 1/3 vegetable. So it's 1-to-1. So to get 25,000 liters, you know, I just need 25,000 liters of potatoes, which will be easy enough. And, you know, like I said, it's, we'll just figure out how that goes, because again, this isn't a potato harvesting type of thing, but I definitely want to at least do the work for the vegetable fat and stuff. But see, to get 1/3 of that, I mean, I only need 8,000, so I need like 16,000 liters of soybeans. I don't need a lot. You know, it might not be a bad idea now that I think about it. Like, let me go look at my silo. Do I have soybeans? No, I just have 2,000 liters, so I have some. So it might not be a bad idea, you know, if maybe barley I need just a tiny bit. Maybe what I do is I plant field 77 with soybeans, get a pretty good harvest, and that way I'll always have some amount of soybeans ready to process into vegetable fat, which would definitely be helpful. Because as I get more potato requirements, I think a lot of them require some vegetable fat. But for now, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode, because I just, again, feel guilty about not giving you one for, I mean, I don't think it's been a month, but it's been several weeks. And I really was trying to find a way to get it done in a week, and kind of eventually just gave up and said, I just can't. I have to realize that right now, the Hills of Tuscany has become something that I will get you an episode as quick as I can, but I can't really promise a time frame, because it just depends on what we're going to need to be doing and how I fit it in amongst everything else that's happening. But hopefully folks will stick around and enjoy it when it comes out. You know, maybe the anticipation will grow. Maybe it'll be more exciting. But in any event, it's pretty darn late here on the farm. Pretty darn late here in real life. Go ahead and get this wrapped up, and then hopefully get it edited in as quickly as I can for you. Get something out there as quick as I can. And with that, same closing as I've had for quite some time. If you've enjoyed this and are enjoying the various things, God, I love this map. I love mountains. I could only imagine actually living somewhere that looked like this. This would just be awesome. You know, if we went to the Rocky Mountains or something, like, you know, you could get these kind of landscapes here in the U.S., but other than that, there's really not much, and I don't know that you could get something quite like this. And again, this is a fictional map. It's not based on a real location, but, you know, in theory, it's in Tuscany somewhere, so. But in any event, as I've gotten distracted by the sheer beauty of the mountains here in the twilight, if you've enjoyed this but haven't dropped a like, please consider doing that. It helps with the spread of the channel. It's greatly appreciated, just to get more notice of what I'm doing here. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider doing that, so that you can see things as they come out and get notified. I think you have to hit the notification button to get notified along with that. But as a subscriber, you certainly will at least be able to find the channel easier, and then look through the new videos and watch whatever strikes your fancy. With that, I will see you next time.